An emotional day in court as the suspect accused of causing a fatal crash faced the judge.
Pagan Torres is facing several charges, including driving while intoxicated in connection with Monday's crash. The crash claimed the life of a local father and left one person hospitalized in critical condition. Tonight, we're hearing from some very emotional friends and family members of both victims.
Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado was in court for today's arraignment. She joins us now live in the capital city with what family members are saying tonight. Steph?
A large group of Frank Perry Jr.'s family and friends came to court today to watch the man accused of driving drunk and killing him be formally charged. Devastated family members watching as Pagan Torres is charged with stealing a landscaping truck, driving drunk, and crashing it into a silver Nissan early Monday morning. 28-year-old Frank Perry Jr., known by friends and family as just Jr., was behind the wheel of the Nissan. He was killed. His passenger, Bo Hahn, critically injured.
He was a good dad, and my kids had a good dad until he was taken from them.
Karina Hahn is the mother of Frank Perry's two sons, and Bo is her brother.
It didn't happen naturally. He didn't go peacefully. He got taken from my children, not just from his family. He has two kids that are left behind, 8 years old and 2 years old, with no dad. No dad. What? And my brother's in the hospital fighting for his life.
Providence police are accusing Pagan Torres of stealing the landscaping truck. The police report says he ran the red light on Valley Street before the crash, then got out of the car, a bystander detaining him until police arrived. Officers reporting he smelled like liquor. His charges include DUI death resulting and driving a vehicle without the consent of its owner.
I wanted to be here for my children so they can get the justice that their dad deserves for themselves, so they know that even though something bad happened to their dad, that the person who did it's not going to get away with what he did.
And Pagan Torres was given $50,000 surety bail on the new charges, but he then had a Superior Court violation hearing because he was on probation for 2 previous crimes. The judge there called him a danger and ordered he be held without bail. Live in Providence, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
First at 6, the latest developments on a crash in Providence that claimed the life of a local father.
The driver accused of causing the deadly wreck is being held without bail tonight. Police say Pagan Torres was driving under the influence early Monday morning when he T-boned another car, killing one man and leaving another critically injured.
The victims' families were in court as Pagan Torres was arraigned. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado spoke with the family and is live in Providence with the latest. Steph?
Frank Perry Jr.'s family was devastated as they watched this man face a judge, some of them briefly breaking down as they thought he might be released on bail, but a Superior Court judge called him a danger and ordered he be held behind bars.
He was a good dad, and my kids had a good dad until he was taken from them.
Karina Hahn leaving the courthouse where this man, Pagan Torres, was accused of driving drunk and causing the crash that killed the father of her children, Frank Perry Jr.
I wanted to be here for my children so they can get the justice that their dad deserves for themselves, so they know that even though something bad happened to their dad, that the person who did it's not going to get away with what he did.
Hahn's brother, Donald Bo Hahn, was also in the car. He's a father of 2 girls, now in an induced coma fighting for his life.
Bo and Frank are one of a kind. Really.
Were they best friends?
Yeah.
Hahn telling us what she'll tell her 2- and 8-year-old sons about their dad.
How much of a good person he was, how much of a provider he was, how much he wanted for them in life, and how much he tried to do so much better to give them what they deserved.
Police allege Pagan Torres stole this landscaping truck he was driving early Monday morning, running a red light on Valley Street before crashing into Frank Perry's car. Officers reporting he smelled of liquor. And Pagan Torres' 5 charges include DUI death resulting and driving a vehicle without the owner's consent. His public defender told a judge he was extremely remorseful and, quote, torn up about the crash. Again, he's being held without bail tonight. Live in Providence, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.